This episode of Marijuana Today Daily is brought to you by Ease.com, California's top one-stop website for legal marijuana delivery. Kick off the week by saving 20% off the cost of select items from Bloom Farms when you use the discount code BLOOM on orders over $50. Just open up Ease.com, spelled E-A-Z-E, to check out Bloom products that are up for sale today and tomorrow. You'll find various vape pen cartridges for both generic size batteries as well as the popular PAX Era. That discount code of BLOOM is good for both today and tomorrow, and again, kicks a fifth of the cost off those select Bloom items. And as they always do, Ease has all kinds of other ways to consume cannabis available on their site, found again over at ease.com. From flower, edibles, and concentrates to tinctures, topicals, and CBD pet products. Ease orders arrive at your door in less than an hour, assuming you live in a part of California where they're active and then it's during legal delivery hours. Find out for yourself just how easy California legal marijuana delivery can be by opening up ease.com. Thanks to everyone at Ease for the support that makes today's show possible. Good morning, Marijuana Nation. It's Monday, October 15th, 2018, and you're tuned in to episode 591 of Marijuana Today Daily. I'm your host, Shay Gunther, and I'll be walking you through today's marijuana news and headlines. As always, we have a full and busy day of cannabis news in our hands, so let's jump right into it. Our top story of the day and the week is some good news out of Washington state, as cannabis regulators on Friday lifted a recently imposed ban on cannabis-infused gummies, hard candies, and other sweets. The abrupt announcement of that ban, which came just last week, threw a lot of industry watchers off balance, as it removed an entire product vertical from the market, which you can imagine disrupted a lot of in-process business plans. The Washington State Liquor and Cannabis Board will now give the industry 30 days to come up with a plan for allowing for the sale of marijuana-infused treats in such a way that they don't appeal to people underaged. Kyle Yeager over at Marijuana Moments picked up on some news out of Michigan over predictions for how much money the state would make in tax revenue if it were to legalize adult use marijuana. This headline is another good news story, as Kyle is reporting that a new estimate from the nonpartisan Michigan Senate Fiscal Agency pegs the amount of legal cannabis sales tax revenue flowing into the state under legal adult use at $730 million over the first 5 years, which is $210 million more than the estimate made earlier by the activist group Regulate Marijuana Like Alcohol, the main driver for the adult use ballot measure going before Michigan voters next month. I guess that's a good thing. It's always better to underpromise and overdeliver. Open up Kyle's story for more numbers and details, including how the state would spend that new tax revenue. As always, we have all the news we cover linked to on our website at mjtodaydaily.com and on our Twitter account at mjtodaydaily. Wrapping up our final top stories today swings us out to New York, where we have some interesting remarks about the disruptive potential of legal marijuana from Bruce Linton, CEO of Canadian cannabis giant Canopy Growth, which is riding high following the multi-billion-dollar investment round it raised from alcohol conglomerate Constellation Brands, makers of Corona beer. Mr. Linton, during a conference held this weekend in New York City, estimated that legal marijuana would eventually disrupt other markets worth as much as $500 billion, with $200 billion being his guess for how big legal cannabis would itself be. When pressed for details, Linton said that legal marijuana would eventually supplant business in the world of sports drinks, pet products, sleep aids, and, of course, alcohol. Those are our top stories for today. It's time for Marijuana Today Daily Headlines Blitz. Before we blitz it in headlines, let's quickly thank our sponsor, Ease.com, California's top one-stop website for legal marijuana delivery. If it's during legal delivery hours and you live in a part of California where they're active, Ease products are less than an hour from your door, with orders taking just minutes to place. Ease only works with the top dispensaries in their active areas and are super strict about all their partners paying just as much attention to relevant cannabis law as they do. So you know you're going to get exactly what you pay for: properly tested, packaged, and labeled cannabis products. If that's the kind of legal business that you like to do, then you're going to love Ease.com, which is spelled E-A-Z-E. Swing over there and browse all their goods and then pop over to ease.com/home after you've placed your order to check out all the valuable bits of industry insight and analysis the Ease editorial team has developed using smart polling, sharp writing, and their properly aggregated and anonymized sales data stream. That's ease.com to order and ease.com/home to read. Both are fantastic. All right, time for the Blitz. Hopping over to the Garden State, we have New Jersey Advanced Media running an analysis of FBI arrest statistics for the state, finding that non-white offenders are arrested at rates far above white offenders for marijuana-related crimes. The piece over at NJ.com shows how those statistics play out for the top 25 cities in the state in terms of racial disparities in cannabis arrests. I think it's really important to remember that there are real people on the other ends of those statistics. When you read that black people in Haydenfield, New Jersey are 74.4 times more likely to be arrested for cannabis crimes than white people, that's a lot of people's lives that were negatively impacted needlessly and unjustly. Ending marijuana prohibition will be one small necessary step towards ending that. Give this one a read. The Arkansas Times has another story that you really just need to open up because it has a video secretly filmed during a meeting between a failed applicant for one of the state's medical marijuana business licenses and a member of the state's Medical Marijuana Commission. The meeting was filmed by failed applicant Ken Scholmere, who met with Arkansas Medical Marijuana Commission member Dr. Carlos Roman, who shared with Mr. Scholmere one of the successful applicants to secure license. Following the release of the video, both Dr. Roman and Mr. Scholmere accused the other of trying to improperly influence the application process. Open this one up to watch the video and to get more background. The Washington Post has a good longer form article up looking at the evolution of marijuana cultivation in California, particularly the central parts of the state where traditionally vineyards have held sway. As legal cannabis has moved into former vineyards, there's been a bit of disruption and friction between the new industry and the more conservative-leaning folks already living there. As new cannabis has moved into former vineyards, there's been a bit of disruption and friction between the new industry and the more conservative-leaning folks already living there. But even so, there's also been a lot of new business and money flowing in, so that's made things all the more interesting. Another good story to dive into. It's just one of those days. The Phoenix New Times keeps these stories you should read train going with a peek at a high-tech $2 million mobile cannabis testing lab that's being driven around different parts of Arizona right now, running tests on legal cannabis products. The van is owned and operated by Cannabis Labs and will drive to your legal Arizona marijuana facility for a couple of days of cannabis analytical testing, which is not required under state law, but that some companies are doing nonetheless for marketing purposes. Canadian marijuana producer Aphria just reported on its latest fiscal quarterly results, which saw it sell 35% more cannabis than it did in Q1 2018, with total revenue ticking just over $13 million Canadian. An interesting note to those results is that the company chose to throw away more than 13,000 growing marijuana plants because they lacked the employees to harvest them. In a sign of the growing acceptance of medical marijuana, the mayor of a small town in Mississippi is getting some headlines after he held an event to collect signatures of support for a 2020 medical marijuana ballot measure. Shay Dobson is mayor of Ocean Springs, Mississippi, and besides having an awesome first name, is also a big supporter of medical cannabis and held an event on Saturday to collect signatures to support a medical marijuana ballot initiative, which will need 86,185 signatures in all to land on the ballot. And finally for today, there's a great article over at Forbes about a company that I think is taking a super smart approach to medical cannabis. The company Z's Natural is focusing on helping people use medical cannabis to sleep better. I myself have always been lucky when it comes to falling and staying asleep, but I think Z's Natural founder Blake Ricciardi could be onto something big. It's an interesting piece either way. Those are the headlines and news for the day. I'll be back with you again tomorrow morning with another information-packed episode of Marijuana Today Daily. But in the meantime, if you have any stories to share or feedback to give, zip us an email to headlines@mjtodaydaily.com. And while you're clicking around the interwebs, swing over to our Twitter account at mjtodaydaily and visit our website at mjtodaydaily.com to find links to all the news we cover. Why do ducks have feathers? To cover up their butt quacks. Thanks to our sponsor, Ease, and to all of our awesome patron listeners for the support that makes this show possible. To join the illustrious ranks of the patron listeners yourself, swing over to our website at mjtodaydaily.com and click on that big blue button at the top of the page that says Become a Duck. I'm your host, Shay Gunther. Thanks for tuning in, starting your day with Marijuana Today. Today.
One take, Shay. One take.